At exactly 9:47 a.m. on the morning of my second wedding anniversary, my phone buzzed with a message that would have sounded normal if my life hadn't already been quietly falling apart. Stuck at the office. Emergency meeting. I'll make it up to you tonight. Love you. It was from Jake. My husband. My partner. The man I had trusted with everything. I stared at the message longer than I should have, something in my chest tightening in a way I couldn't explain. Maybe it was instinct. Maybe it was the quiet voice inside me that had been trying to speak for months, but I had been too tired, too sick, too distracted to listen. Because while his message painted a picture of distance, reality was standing right in front of me. I slowly lifted my eyes from the phone and looked through the glass partition separating my office from the restaurant floor. And there he was. Jake. Not at the office. Not in a meeting. Not busy. He was sitting just 30 feet away. And he wasn't alone. At first, my mind refused to process what I was seeing. It tried to blur the details, to protect me from the truth unfolding right in front of my eyes. But denial doesn't last long when reality is that cruel. His hand rested on her face. Her fingers were tangled in his hair. Their bodies leaned into each other as they belonged there. And then, he kissed her. Not a mistake. No hesitation. Not confusion. It was familiar. Intimate. Practiced. My heart didn't just break, it collapsed. The room felt like it tilted, as gravity itself had shifted. My breath caught somewhere between my lungs and my throat, refusing to move. And then I saw her face. That was the moment everything inside me truly shattered. Because the woman Jake was kissing, it was my sister. Maya. My little sister. The one I had protected growing up. The one I had defended, supported, and trusted with my life. Heat. Rage. Betrayal so deep it felt physical. I pushed my chair back so hard it hit the wall behind me. I was already moving toward the door, my mind screaming one thing. Confront them. Expose them. End this right now. But before my hand could even reach the handle, a voice stopped me. Don't. Firm. Calm. Urgent. I turned, and there she was. Sarah Morgan. A face from my past I hadn't seen in years, now standing in front of me like she had stepped out of a memory at exactly the moment I needed her most. She had been my childhood friend. The one who always saw things others didn't. The one who had become a detective. And in that moment, she wasn't just a friend. She was the only person standing between me and a decision that could have destroyed everything. You walk out there right now, she said quietly, and you lose. I shook my head, my voice trembling. Lose? Sarah, did you see what they're doing? I saw, she replied. And that's exactly why you need to think, not react. My hands were shaking. My entire body felt like it was on fire. I can't just stand here. Yes, you can, she cut in, her voice low but sharp. Because whatever this is, it's bigger than cheating. That stopped me. Something in the way she said it. Cold. Certain. Calculated. What do you mean? I whispered. Sarah glanced toward the dining area, then back at me. I've been looking into something. I didn't know you were connected until today. A chill ran down my spine. Connected to what? She hesitated for just a second, then said the words that changed everything. A setup. That single word followed me all the way home. I don't remember how I got there. I don't remember the drive, the traffic, or even unlocking the door. All I remember was the silence. Heavy, suffocating silence. The house that once felt warm, now felt like a crime scene. Because that's what it was. I walked straight to Jake's office. My hands were steady now, not because I was calm, but because something inside me had shifted. The shock was gone. In its place was something colder. Focus. If Sarah was right, then what I saw at the restaurant wasn't just betrayal. It was part of something bigger. And I needed proof. Jake's laptop sat on the desk, exactly where he always left it. He had never hidden it from me. Never protected it. Because he never thought I'd look. Because he thought I was too weak. Too distracted. Too sick. My chest tightened at that thought, but I pushed it aside and opened the laptop. No password. That hurt more than it should have. Because it meant he wasn't careful. It meant he was confident. And confident people make mistakes. What I found wasn't just betrayal. It was a nightmare. Emails, messages, documents. Not hidden, but not obvious either. Tucked into folders with harmless names. But once I started reading, I couldn't stop. Jake and Maya. Together. Not just romantically, but strategically. They had been planning this. Planning against me. For months. Every message felt like a knife. She's getting weaker. She barely questions anything now. Soon she'll sign. Sign what? My hands trembled as I opened the attached documents. Legal drafts. Power of attorney. Business control transfers. Everything tied to one thing. Rose's kitchen. My restaurant. My grandmother's legacy. The place I had built with years of sacrifice, sleepless nights, and love. Valued at $2.8 million. And they wanted it. No, they weren't just trying to take it. They were trying to break me, so I would hand it over willingly. My stomach turned. And then I found something that made everything stop. A message. From Maya. Use a little more. She's not as sick as before. My breath caught. Use more, what? I stood there, frozen, as a memory surfaced. The nausea. The weakness. The constant exhaustion that doctors couldn't explain. Stress, they had said. Burnout. Anxiety. But it never felt right. And now, I moved slowly, almost mechanically, toward Jake's bag. It was still there. Untouched. I opened it. And found it. A small, unassuming bottle. Ipecac syrup. My heart stopped. Because I knew exactly what it was. An emetic. Something that forces the body to vomit. Something that could make a person weak, sick, dependent. Something that could slowly destroy someone without leaving obvious traces. My knees nearly gave out. Every morning. The coffee Jake made for me. The one I trusted. The one I drank without thinking. Every single day, he had been poisoning me. The days that followed were no longer about heartbreak. They were about survival. I stopped drinking anything he gave me. I pretended nothing had changed. I smiled. I acted weak. I played the role they thought I was trapped in. And quietly, I gathered evidence. The coffee. The messages. The documents. Everything. Until finally, I took a sample to a toxicology lab. February 19th. A date I will never forget. Dr. Bennett didn't say much when he handed me the report. He didn't need to. The results spoke for themselves. Confirmed. Poison. Intentional. Repeated exposure. I held the paper in my hands, and something inside me became crystal clear. I wasn't a victim anymore. I was a witness. And soon, I would be the reason everything they built collapsed. The confrontation didn't happen in anger. It didn't happen in chaos. It happened in control. I waited. Planned. Prepared. And when the moment came, they never saw it coming. Legal action. Criminal charges. Evidence presented with precision. Every lie exposed. Every betrayal laid bare. Jake lost everything. His freedom. His reputation. His future. Maya? She lost something even deeper. Any right to ever call herself family again. Months later, I stood inside Rose's kitchen. The sunlight streamed through the windows just like it always had. The same tables. The same walls. The same legacy. But I was different. Stronger. Clearer. Unbreakable. I had almost lost everything. Not because I was weak, but because I trusted the wrong people. And that's the truth no one talks about. Sometimes, the deepest betrayals don't come from enemies. They come from the people who know exactly how to hurt you. But survival. That comes from within. And I chose to survive. Not just for me, but for everything they tried to take. And failed. If this story moved you, I'd genuinely love to know, where are you watching from? Your city, your country. Because stories like this aren't just about betrayal. They're about resilience. And no matter where you are in the world, that strength lives in you too.